Okay, well, it seems to be recording now. So basically, I just recorded a whole video, and it's about 15 minutes long, and the editing, not the editing, sorry, the video cut out. The audio broke. Now, I actually think now the audio is a little slow opposed to the video, so that may be annoying for some, but take the nuggets away what you will. Basically, what I'm going to be discussing is just some of the top SMMA apps that I use, some of the best practices in the way of apps, and some of the essentials, right? So the things that I use every single day without a doubt: how I invoice, how I charge clients, how I set up recurring, how I do all the creatives, how I do my internal and external communication, basically all that. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is Simple Invoices. So for those of you that don't know, Simple Invoices is a little program online. Okay, it's a little, you can just go to it. It's simpleinvoices.io. Now, Simple Invoices allows me to send the actual invoicing contract to the client, like the invoice to the client, contract, the actual invoice to the client, so then I can get them to pay per month, right? With Simple Invoices, what you can do is you can set up recurring subscriptions. So say you have 3-month plans with someone, right? They have a 3-month minimum. Now, you don't want to have to send them that invoice every single month, right? On the 20th of every month. You don't have to send them every 20th of every month. Because every time they review that contract and then have to manually send that balance to you, they're rethinking, is this deal worth it for me, right? It's like if you had a gym membership, okay? And say you're somebody that doesn't go to the gym, but you have that membership. If they just take it out every week, you don't really think about it. You don't really want to cancel it. You don't have any, you haven't had to put any thought into it. It just goes. Now, the same goes, okay, let's actually flip that on its head real quick. Imagine every week they ask you, hey, you didn't come. Did you want to cancel your membership? And you would think about it. You'd be like, maybe I don't want it to come out next week. Maybe it isn't worthwhile. And let's say it is super worthwhile. You would rethink it. You'd have to rethink the deal every time. So we want to avoid that. So by avoiding that, this is where Simple Invoices come in. We set up recurring, 20th every month. It already charges their bank that they paid the first invoice with, and just boom, boom, done. You don't have to think about it. So you want to be pairing Simple Invoices with Stripe. That's the best way to do it, because then you send the invoice on Simple Invoices. That's automatically linked to Stripe. It sends it over, all done. That's literally everything done for you on that side. The next one that you guys should be using is either a HelloSign, DocuSign, or Dropbox Sign. Now, I've opted in for the Dropbox Sign just because I think it was the first one I came across. I found it the easiest, and I believe they give 20 contracts free or something like that you can send out. So I really like Dropbox Sign. Super easy one, best one. Now, you want to make sure you're sending out contracts every time. Now, I didn't used to stress the importance of contracts because I didn't think it was that important, really. The thing that I came into recently that made me actually realize it is important is I was doing work for a client. I thought he had signed it. I didn't really stress whether I checked it or not because I was like, meh, whatever, he's already paid. It's sweet. He then charged back on his card, and then I noticed the contract wasn't signed. So I had nothing to go back on. So make sure you're sending a contract, make sure it's signed, make sure you do all that. Even if they have paid, make sure that fucking thing is signed. All right, for external communication, for all my meetings that I do, for all my check-in calls, all that, I use Google Meets. Now, I used to use Zoom, but they give you a 40-minute allowance, I believe, and that's shit. A lot of my meetings will run hour and a half. So the last thing you want to do is have that unprofessional look where it just kicks everyone out. Okay, I've had that. I've done that. I've been in meetings with real estate agents and I've had to pretend I don't know what happened and re-invite them. Now, yes, you could buy the thing, whatever. At the time when I started my agency, I didn't want to outlay that expense. So I then switched over to Google Meet. Now, Google Meet is elite. It is fucking elite. It has everything to offer that Zoom has to offer, except more. And it's just better. It integrates with calendar easier. It's just so much more elite. So for my external communications, so initial calls and then my check-in calls that are every 2 weeks or a month, we just use that. We use Google Meet. For internal communication amongst your clients, once you've signed them on, the best ones to use, and there's probably only 2 that are decent. Now you've got a paid one, which is Slack. You always want the paid version of Slack. Otherwise your clients are going to be able to see the other clients, they're going to be able to see other conversations. It's just shit. Now I personally don't really know how to use Slack. I'm not the most proficient at it, nor have I gone out of my way to learn it. Hence why I've always just opted in for using WhatsApp, or I've just actually recently started using WhatsApp. So what you do on WhatsApp, everyone has WhatsApp, right? They can download it on their phone, they can download it on their MacBook, on their PC. Really easy, everyone always has it. So just setting everyone up in their own individual WhatsApp channels is just very easy. And so I've opted in for that, but I'll eventually switch over to Slack. But right now, it's unnecessary. Another essential that I use is Brain FM. So if you have things that you need to do, most of the time you do need to be listening to something. You don't want to have just like stray thoughts or things that could take you off task. So if you can listen to some type of focus music, some type of thing that's going to keep you on track, I really find that to help. Now I either listen to a focused classical piano mix, something like that, or I listen to Brain FM, which is just binaural beats in your ear. Really simple binaural beats, brainfm.com, I think, or it might even be brain.fm. It's really great. Definitely recommend. I think there's like a 30-day free trial, so try it out. Try it with your work. You'll see for yourself the results, and it'll just be a no-brainer. Now, I get all my clients to bring together all their creatives for me. I don't bother trying to make them for them. I don't do UGC, nothing like that. We're strictly just running the ads, maintaining the ads, making sure everything's optimized and working correctly. Sometimes I do have to add a call to action on some videos, or I do have to lighten up a task, or I do have to remove a background, or I do have to add some text. Very little slight alterations. So what I do for that is I actually use Canva. So Canva is the best one out there for this. It's just the easier. There's no need to get Photoshop. There's no need to get Lightroom. There's no need to get After Effects, all these programs. Canva pretty much covers most things, especially if you're in the position I'm in. If you're running an advertising agency where you're not making the content. So that pretty much covers all the stuff I use day in, day out. And yeah, it's massively helped my business, makes things very streamlined, much easier, and you should try it out for yourself.